What's going on, guys? Again, it's VenomousFatman here. I'm here on the bit, the boys in the tube, and girl, by the way. I'm sitting down with Kristen Perez. We were just talking about her origins into gaming and the origin of the GMG Network website. So, Kristen, we're going to get into some different stuff now. We're going to get into some more industry-related questions. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, so tell us a little bit about you actually getting into the game industry specifically. You know, your beginnings, your origin into that.
Well, once my videos kind of made it up there, I started posting videos on GamesOnSmash.com. And then after a while, I started posting videos on the Bitbag. And I kind of just took off from there. I ended up going to like E3, CESs, doing interviews, meeting a lot of people in the biz. That time at Hip Hop Gamer, time at Torrance Davis, and it was just a blast. The whole experience has always been really fun. I ended up like meeting David Jaffe, like all the big names, all the things like I dream of, and interviewing people and getting a lot better at it. I think my biggest interview that I've ever done was I interviewed Olivia Munn at the Lost Planet release party for the Bitbag, and that was an incredible experience. She was really nice to me. And she commented on my hair, and I felt like super special, like I was like the biggest of the big, being able to interview someone that big. Because she was like excited that a girl was interviewing her. It was fantastic.
There you go. That sounds pretty fun. Now, going from the different websites, because you said you were on Games on Smash, you're at the Bitbag, and then now you're on GMG, or pretty much you have GMG now. You know, tell us a little bit, what's it like actually going from different website to website? Usually, like when it comes to leaving a website, is it a little more hostile, or is it a much more like a parting of ways?
It kind of like depends on how you look at it. I left for my own personal reasons and just wanted to work with Torrance because he really wanted me to work with him. Like he was like, please, Kristen, I need more girls, and I was like, of course, Torrance, I love you. And I started doing different podcasts, which was cool because you got to work with like a different group of people.
Yeah.
Like I went from the Step Your Game Up podcast to the Warzone, which was crazy. And then I met more people through there because everybody and their mom is like recording it at the same time. Mm-hmm. So it's really exciting. It kind of hectic at the same time, but it gets really fun at times. Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of like up to how you look at it. But I enjoyed working with both sites a lot, and I had a lot of fun working for both sites. But I'm trying to just go into my own direction and focus it a lot more on female gaming and like kind of like pushing that because I think a lot more people should know about it.
That's very cool. Now, when you go to the different events and stuff, because, you know, you've been to E3 or pretty much been to PAX East and stuff like that, correct?
Right.
So,
because that's far away. But
okay.
Yeah, I've been to events.
Okay, yeah. So, for example, like E3 and stuff. So, tell us a little more about your experience going to such a big gaming convention like that. Because, like you said, you got to meet all these people that mostly, at least now these days, a lot of people only really hear about on TV or through the websites and things like that. You know, what's it like actually being within that environment?
Man, you feel like a celebrity. Like, everybody wants to talk to you because you are the press. They want to show off their game, have you ask them a lot of questions. They like to give you stuff like copies of the game for free, and they invite you to parties and invite you to come back over and over again. I remember just like walking up to people, not knowing who they were, but the second they started talking, I'd start freaking out because it was like, holy crap, that's Ted Price. And I'd be like, I know that guy, Insomniac, yay! Just like running around, bumping into like the people I've been following for so long. It was just super exciting. And the fact that they wanted me to interview them made it even more exciting. They're like, do you want to do an interview? They like free publicity. And I was like, yeah! I remember I got to interview the president of World Cyber Games. I got to interview
Nice.
Mark Applesauce, the guy who won Ultimate Gamer. I got to chill with Swoozy and play Rock Band with them. Like, they actually contacted me, World Cyber Games, to do the interview for it. They like called me on the phone, and I remember tripping out over it. I was thinking, wow, I get to do this big interview because they want me to. So that was a cool experience for sure.
That sounds pretty cool. So, is there anyone specifically yet that you haven't actually gone in contact with that you would want to get in contact with? You know, someone that you know, either the highlight of your career or just someone you just want to be able to hang out with at some point?
I've hung out with a lot of cool people, and I'm sure there's more people that they're just not coming to my head. But it's random when I meet people, and it's random when I see all these people, because I want to meet a lot of like the big gamers on YouTube. I meet the ones that work for like the sites and stuff, but they haven't been coming to events as often. Like, I was featured on the Philip DeFranco show when he came out with his video game channel called Like Totally Awesome.
Yeah.
Which he converted it into like a movie channel now. But I remember I was featured on there, and I got to meet Philip DeFranco at CES, and I ended up talking to him at like an after party for like an hour about how excited I was on his show. But I would like to meet more of the people who do like the Let's Plays and see how they got there and learn from their experiences. Because I've met a lot of people in the industry that I really do like, but I want to meet even more. I kind of want to know the whole industry on a whole, meet the presidents of all the companies and stuff like that.
Yeah, you want to kind of diversify yourself a little bit, you know, in pretty much every aspect of the game industry.
Right, absolutely.
So let's talk about one little thing that, you know, let's talk about Hot Girls in Gaming, because that was actually, you know, Gerard did his thing. If you guys haven't seen it yet, Kristen has a video that's actually, you know, specifically focused on her on hiphopgamershow.com that, you know, Gerard talked about, you know, how did you feel, you know, from all the people that's seen the video or that's seen this series for the most part, how did you feel actually being a part of that, and what was it like when you first saw that actually go up?
Oh my god, I was so embarrassed. I don't, like, I mean that in a good way, because I was really flattered, but, like, I didn't expect him to say a lot of the things he said about me, because I didn't realize how much, like, respect Gerard had for me, and, because the show, he talks about, like, my work in the industry, how far I've gone, and then he goes into the segment about where he would predict what I would be like in bed, and I just remember cracking up and turning all red just watching that, just being like, oh my god, just kind of like freaking out. But I realize it's just for humor and stuff like that, and I thought it was hilarious. I enjoyed it a lot, and I tried to share it with as many people as I could, because I've never had anyone make like that kind of video for me before, and it made me feel a lot more confident in myself. And I was like, gosh, if I'm one of the hottest girls in gaming, I should be able to do more sexy stuff, you know. So I have plans to do some more photo shoots and stuff like that for you guys.
Here's a quick question: when that went up and you actually first saw it, or like, you know, when it around that time frame when it first went up, did you actually ever play that like your job or something, or somebody else like, you know, actually see that and like, you know, told you about it and just goofed about it?
Actually, Gerard called me and he told me that he did that, and he's like, "Is that okay?" And I was like, "Oh, of course, absolutely." So right after he called me, I went and watched it right away. But I was by myself, you know, just hanging out at my house, so not a lot of people were there. But nobody actually hit me up about it, as far as I know. But I'm sure a lot of my fans saw it, because I posted it on my site immediately, and I was like, "You guys need to watch this." And I remember my cameraman, Matt, he's like, "Really? Someone made a 20-minute video about how cool you and awesome you are?" I was like, "Yeah, isn't that amazing?" Like, I just never thought I'd be big enough in the industry to be, like, featured like that, ever.
That's pretty cool. So, moving away from that a little bit, let's get more into the industry itself. You know, obviously, you're a Go gamer, and you're trying to, you know, spread a little bit, you know, the knowledge and the wealth of knowledge about girls in the game industry, or girls in video games and stuff like that. My question, you know, and I asked this, you know, to a couple other people in the past that I've interviewed, you know, there's been a bunch of different services that, you know, every once in a while will pop up. I forgot specifically some of the names of them, but, like, they have this thing where their marketing ploy is to be able to have, like, you know, game dates or play dates with people over like Xbox Live, or girls over Xbox Live and PlayStation Network and stuff like that. You know, what do you feel about that, or what do you actually specifically think about that? You know, that kind of like rise and that, you know, that kind of like things that are happening.
I thought the whole thing was a joke when I first saw it. I remember, like, I was going to do a parody rap video about the whole thing, because I thought it was ridiculous. I couldn't believe people were actually paying money to play video games with a girl. I don't think they realize half the people that they play with without mics are already female, but there's a reason why they don't have mics. It's because there's a lot of little kids and a lot of, like, really jerky guys who just use players because they're girls. It doesn't matter if they play good or if they're okay or if they're learning. It doesn't matter. If you're a girl, they just attack and attack and attack you, it's really terrible, because I've felt that all the time. So I usually try to stay away from online matches unless they're with just my friends, because I get that every single time I play, and it's quite annoying and frustrating and insulting. It's not a nice way to be felt when you're playing games online with your friends.
So overall, though, just the idea of those different websites and those services like that, overall, you pretty much think it's a joke, and that it's bad, is it like terrible for the industry?
I just don't think it, like, it's hard to believe that it's real.
Yeah.
Because it seems so pathetic and lame. Like, guys, you don't need to pay money to talk to a girl. You can talk to girls all the time. As long as you're respectful to them, they might turn on their mics and they might talk to you. Like, just don't be a douchebag and you'll be fine. I think it's a joke, and that nobody should ever have to do that. If you're that scared to talk to women like Raj from Big Bang Theory, then you should probably not be using a headset anyway, because you've been talking to women the whole time.
That's a good analogy. Big Bang Theory for the win. But anyway, we're going to go into the next part, guys. Be sure to stick around for part 3 as I continue to sit down with Kristen Perez. Talk to y'all in a minute.